Hello, hello. I cannot tell today if this is live. I'm having a heck of a time here. Anyway, welcome if you're watching this. Hello, hello, welcome. We're happy to have you here. And thank you for joining me. So today, I have a quick question for you. Are you interested in how you can integrate your mind, body, and spirit into everything that you do in your life? Would you like to find out how you can make that happen to enrich your life with those qualities and feel just great in every area, find that balance? Well, you are in luck because my special guest today is going to talk about just that. She is a world-renowned hypnotherapist and coach, and she's going to be sharing her secret tips on how you can integrate your mind, body, and spirit. So, hi, I'm Susie Bowers. This is Hypno Professional Expert Interview Series 2022, Everything Hypnosis. So, welcome and let's ignite your hypnotic awesomeness. Let's do it. Woohoo! All right. Woohoo! It is Wonderful Wednesday, and I'm so excited to be welcoming my very special guest, Miss Sandra Grace. She's from Integrative Life Works, Inc., and she's going to be sharing with us how to balance and integrate mind, body, and spirit into everything you do in your life. We're going to have a great time, and then we have some special announcements all about what Sandra's up to and what we're going to be doing next. So let's welcome Sandra. Here she comes.
Hey.
Hi, Sandra.
Thanks for having me on, Susie. It's so nice to finally meet you live. Well, virtually live.
Yeah, virtually live. Absolutely. It's so great to meet you. I know we've been trying to get together. We've had several things going on the last few weeks, but particularly we have our big summit coming up, which is next week, and you're participating with your friend Amanda, and we're really happy to have you as well. So thank you for joining me today. Just one second here. We're having a little bit of technical issues. And so we'll just carry on, the show must go on. That's what I have to say. And we're going to have a good time no matter what. And we'll share this amazing video later anyway. So anyway, thanks for joining me. And let's talk about a couple areas. So not only are you a hypnotherapist and coach, but you also help other hypnotherapists and coach to have a successful business, which is what I'm all about too. I love that. And so let's talk about that. Tell me about your business a little bit. I'm going to minimize myself here and give you the floor.
Thanks, Susie. So, one of my greatest passions is to coach, of course. My undergrad is in education, and I spent several years in a standardized classroom, and I went on to work with many, universities and trade schools and so on. And in addition to that, I've been doing a lot of business coaching. So what I love to do is to help people in the fields that I'm also active in. And so a coach and a hypnotherapist, a keynote speaker, but mostly my new business partner and I are really focusing on training people that are already in the field somewhere and assisting them with creating a truly integrative approach to their business, because so few people start off these days with like one career and that's what they do for the rest of their life. Right back in my dad's day, he started with a company when he was 14 years old. He retired from that company. And that is very unusual these days. So most of us, when we come into our business, when we come into our practice, we have a diverse background, and it might not be in hypnosis or in coaching or in whatever we primarily do now. And so we really encourage people to take all of their strengths and bring those strengths together and create kind of a hybrid in what we offer. And so we can really niche down in our market if we can attract those that really need and want our specialized skills. And so I love working with entrepreneurs to help them learn to manage their energy, to grow their business. And this integrative protocol for coaching has really been our fire for the last couple of years. Like, we're so excited about this and the results that our students are getting out there in their career. They're just so much more impassioned about their career because it's truly a combination of all the things that they're the most passionate about. It's been fantastic.
I love it. I love it. That is totally my motto: passion, purpose, and prosperity. because I have to say, and I'm sure this has been your experience too, you don't get into the hypnotherapy and coaching field unless you have a passion for helping people.
I see.
And that really can, once you figure that out, it kind of helps you dig down and figure out your purpose with it and who you're here to serve and all of that. So I love what you are doing. You and Amanda have put this great program together to help entrepreneurs to tap into that and live their best life. I mean, really, it's about living the best life and also lifestyle freedom, right?
Yes, yes. And so, so many people that, especially in hypnosis specifically, because I know that's one of the specializations of this series, is that hypnotists particular, I was shocked to find out a few years back that there was finally some research done, and we found out that like 85% of hypnotists do it as a part-time gig. And most of them are passionate about it and would love to do it as a full-time profession. And unfortunately, they just don't know how to create the financial abundance for themselves. And that is something that I really took to heart. And I got very passionate about how I can support people in doing exactly what they want to do all day, every day. And if that means leaving the 9 to 5 and clicking into whatever your own schedule is, that's the way we work it. And it's been really exciting.
That brings up a really great point. So it isn't always easy when you're used to the paycheck to paycheck kind of thing. We do have a couple viewers. Hi, thanks for joining us. What advice do you give to somebody who really, in their heart and their soul, they'd really like to be able to fulfill their passion and live that purpose, but it's a little bit scary to give up that security? So
Yeah.
what advice would you give on how to make that kind of a decision to be able to step into that transition?
Yeah, so we really encourage people to create a space for themselves in which they're really congruent with their own mission. And when you really are in a place where, as we're going to talk about today, where your integrative approach, where your own body has the foundations that it needs, your mental emotional states are in alignment with what it is you teach and preach, and you're spiritually aligned with your calling and your purpose. When you have those things coming together, it doesn't feel like a risk. It doesn't feel like scary, even if up until now for other people it might have. It feels like overdue. It feels like more than ready. It feels like exciting. And so there, a lot of it is about creating that alignment. And I think more to your question, when you talk about the physical structural part of it, how do we ensure that you are financially stable in order to become the entrepreneur you want to be? And I've worked with, millionaires that want to become billionaires and people that want to launch into their first million. And the thing that I've seen over and over with these folks is that you move with purpose and with intention, and that the intention will overrule all. So we really help people to take a good look at where are you financially, how much needs to be in there, how much cushion do you have to give yourself. If you're purchasing an already existing business, if there's only a 40% retention rate, what does that mean for you? How about generating new clients? And so we do all of that. When we send someone out into the field, we feel confident that they have all those tools that they need before they're ready to go. And sometimes, we had a program, integrative certification, coaching certification program that just launched. I had like 3 people that within a month left their 9 to 5s and went full time into it. Other people are going to do a phase in, and they're going to gradually move into it. And it varies from person to person, but we'll help you, create what's best for you and what's really helpful for you and your family.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you have a really good mapped out plan for someone who wants to take that next step and really live their life. And, I'm sure you have found this to be true. I certainly have. With all the stuff that's been going on the last couple of years, the shutdowns and everything, we're really in a position to help others in a huge way and to really step into this in a really successful way and transition from a job into your own business. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, the part that was most interesting for me is, I've been a business coach for some time, and I help people manage their energy. And when, like when the pandemic began, and a lot of people like in our field, for example, I had prayers out for our stage friends, that their career was going to take a dramatic and rapid change. And so I have people in other fields other than hypnosis, coaches that I work with and so on. And one of the things that is, everybody stopped and said, okay, how much is in savings? What if I don't work for a while? And I wasn't even working out of my office. I switched to working from home office because I'm a widow and a single mother, and I had a son at home because he wasn't at school. And so when I took a look at that, I really thought things were going to slow down. And I have to tell you the truth, it was the busiest I've ever been in my career. So I agree with you 100%. I was literally sometimes working like 14, 15-hour days back to back.
Right,
And I
right.
couldn't get everyone in. I was having to refer some people out because there are people that know that you can really do more service in these times than ever before. And if you really live a life of service and if you're really aligned with your purpose, you could get out there and do more good than ever before. And I had people coming in and the folks I was working in all sorts of fields, because I train people in real estate and people in construction. So I don't only work with hypnotists and coaches, but when I was working with all of these people, there was one thing in the same. They knew that there are folks that can do more philanthropy, that can do more that they can be giving away, and more that they can be increasing in their own wealth and abundance so that they can do more and give more. So I would say to people during that time, that there are folks that made their millions during the pandemics, and you could do the same, and you could take that money to give back to the places that need it. And so this is the time to support people. And so in our field, particularly as coaches and hypnotists, absolutely.
I love everything you just said. So, so key. Um, Being in service and also being willing. Because it's one of the things that I've noticed. It's just an observation, like you had said, there 85% of hypnotists are still doing it kind of part-time and would like to go into it full-time. I found that too. They really have a heart for it, but that scary part. And it's kind of that prosperity mindset too, and really treating it like a business, not just a hobby that's fun and what will everyone think if I do this, change my life.
I know. I talk to people about this all the time. I said, if it's not generating income, then it's a hobby, and that's fantastic. And if you want hypnosis or coaching or anything, these things that you've trained in and you've spent money and time to become proficient at, if you want those to be your hobbies, fantastic. And if you want them to be your career or your business, we've got to make you money. And so it is about service of self and service of others. And I really feel like when we're aligned and we're congruent and we're grounded in the human form and connected to the divine, then that service is one. When we're serving ourselves, we are serving others. And so that means providing for yourself and having enough financial abundance that you have the basic things that you need and want in your life, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm such a huge believer in that. And I see that mindset sometimes, though. It's like, oh, well, this is my gift. I should give it away. Or I'm not comfortable charging enough and that sort of thing. But my belief, my experience in all of this is that we deserve to be paid well for what we do, whether you're a coach, you're a hypnotherapist, you're a real estate agent, whatever you are, we deserve to be paid well because we bring our unique gifts out into the world. And we need to have the time, the money, and the time freedom to be able to continue to work on ourselves, to, like you were talking about, manage our energy. That's a big one. So share that with me, Sandra. When you say I help people manage their energy,
Yeah.
what does that mean? I'm curious.
Well, two of the major ways that we manage our energy here on your Earth School are the way that we spend our time and our money, because those are the ways that we exchange energy at this time on Earth School. And so really thinking about, what does your day look like from the time you wake until you rest your body again? What do you want to be spending your time on? What are your top values and priorities? And are they congruent with how you're spending your time throughout your day? Also looking at things like your finance or your abundance. It's the way that we're exchanging energy. The more that I have, the more that I give. If I know where I'm going to give, if I know where my not-for-profit organizations are, if I know where my passions are that I give to, and how I support and in my community and so on. If I know the more I have, the more I'm going to give, then there is no worry, or there's no fear about increasing my own wealth and abundance, because I know exactly where it's going to go. The more I have, the more I'm going to give, and I know where that's going to go. So there's no holding back in that area. And also, I mean, I'm a business coach, and I wouldn't be very congruent with what I'm teaching and preaching if I'm not living it myself. And so I help people set up those streams. And it's not about stockpiling. I mean, perhaps that's important to some people, but for me, it's not about stockpiling a bunch of money in the savings account so much as it is about, if I have more coming in, where am I going to give back to my community? How can I give back to my community? I mean, I've even been to some hypnosis conferences lately where we can contribute to scholarship funds, and we can bring hypnotists that didn't have the abundance that others of us had over the pandemic, and we can get them scholarships to get to those conferences and get support and get help and expand their fields, right? So the more I have, the more I give. I'm not the least bit uncomfortable with modeling what I'm teaching my clients.
Yes, that's so important. And that kind of brings up a funny point too, is like, that's one of the reasons too why it's so important that we are comfortable being paid well for what we're doing, because you can give back when you have something to give. And I find sometimes hypnotherapists and coaches that are, talking about abundance, and they're trying to sell that, and they're not really living it themselves, because they're just the mindset. It's not necessarily about how much money you have coming in. It's just the mindset, and like bickering over little pennies and dimes when it's just not that important.
I think what you're leaning to is what we had mentioned is one of the talks that I'm going to be doing for the Global Hypnosis Summit, and it's also a topic that I share at other conferences on occasion. And that is this idea of what is really the integrative approach. And so what we were talking about earlier is we have to have those physical structural foundations in place. If our physical structural being, if our body that we're moving around Earth School and it doesn't have what it needs, then we can't fire off what we need in the brain properly. And so all the mindset tools and skill sets and tool sets and all these things that we've been trained in aren't very useful if we haven't provided for the physical structural foundations we need. And in the physical body, that might be things like, sleep or movement or nutrition or things like this that the physical body is calling for. But part of our physical structural life is also the things that surround us in the world, right? Our physical structural surroundings in the world. So that means, do we have shelter? Do we have transportation if necessary? Do we have, those basic needs met in our own life? And so I think when those things are in place and when we're providing for those physical structural areas, then we can really get working on the mindset. So a lot of the hypnotists or a lot of the coaches that come to me for training, what I've noticed is they're really good at the skill sets, the tool sets, and those types of things, and even the mindsets. But if their own personal life doesn't have the physical structural foundation that it requires, then they are not going to be firing correctly, and therefore they're not going to be of maximum benefit to their clients. So we want to show up integritous to our clients. We want to show up being masters of what we're teaching and preaching. We want to show that we're living it, we're doing, we're all in human form, we're all going to have better days than others, but that we're living the 85% rule, that, right, we're eating the way we want to eat and sleeping and moving, and we're practicing self-hypnosis daily, and we're creating our own masters of abundance, and we know where we're funneling those things. And so all of that plays into that integrative protocol that we focus on, is making sure that physical structural part is in alignment. And as I said earlier, when we're grounded in the human form, and the human form is being provided for, and we're connected to the divine, so that's that spiritual part of it, right? If we're clear in our value system, whether it's God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, the oneness, science, nature, whatever your value system is based on, if you're clear on it and you're aligned with that and you're living your life in alignment with that, as well as being grounded in the human form, that's where it creates the space, fourth dimensional, for those mindsets you keep talking about. And I think that you're exactly right. It is about the mindset, but when people aren't necessarily where they need to be, they might not be creating the mindsets they want, because they're lacking the other parts of the integrated protocol.
Right. Well, that is so important, everything you just said there. So being in integrity and living and walking your talk. So quick backstory on that. So during COVID, I decided that just in case it turned into the zombie apocalypse, nobody really knew. So I decided to grow a garden in my backyard, thinking I'd eat healthy and all this stuff. Well, what ended up happening is I ended up cooking like a fiend and put on 20 pounds. And I thought, it was all healthy because it was all grown from my vegetable garden, but it just kind of wasn't really what I had in mind. And I thought, nobody really likes a fat hypnotist. There's just something incongruent here. Anyway, so I promptly got the 20 pounds off, but it's just kind of funny. So it's being in integrity. And I agree with you so much about connection with the divine, whatever that is for you. That's going to lift your vibration. It's going to keep you in that energy of love and light. And that's when you're going to really be moving out in the world and helping people in a big way, just by being present, just by your presence being there. So tell us some more. So not only are you part of the Global Hypnotherapy Summit, which thank you so much. So excited about that. And the Globe are going to be sharing wisdom and teaching about hypnosis, NLP, how to grow a successful business. We've got tarot hypnotherapy, past life regression, automatic writing, stage hypnosis, how to use stage hypnosis to grow your business. So much cool stuff coming. And Sandra, you're part of that. So you're going to be talking about this at the Global Hypnotherapy Summit, but also, which is how we got connected, you are presenting, you have some classes coming up at HypnoThoughts Live X.
Yeah, HypnoThoughts Live X, right? The 10-year anniversary. Woo!
I know, it's pretty exciting. Sure. So what are you going to be teaching there? You've got a few different classes that people can come and do. So tell us about your class.
I'm super honored to be invited to speak at HypnoThoughts again this year. There's several conferences that I think are really outstanding out there, but HypnoThoughts has really held a special place in my heart. So I'm going to be teaching a 1-hour course this year, and I believe I'm going to check my notes because I want to get it straight. Yeah, the 1 hour is up until now technique. So it's mastering the power of the present. So it's kind of a brief course. It's only an hour, but I'm going to just share those concepts with people that know that when they're ruminating or living in the past, that's where depression and sadness and those things come in. When they're worried or always living in the future, that's where anxiety comes in. And so if we can really master the power of the presence, if we can really be in the present, that's where the change work can happen for ourselves and for others. So up until now technique is a 1-hour technique. I'm going to be teaching on Saturday at 4:30 at HypnoThoughts. And then on Sunday, I'm teaching a 2-hour. That's the integrative protocols like we've been talking about here, the key to maximizing your time and your results with clients and yourself. And so the way we take the approach on that is to really do the work for yourself so that you'll understand the protocols and the concepts so you can do them for others. And then on Monday through Thursday, post-conference, I'm teaching a 4-day course along with Nicholas Spohn called Resonance. And it's Change Your Vibe, Change Your Life. And so I have an opportunity to work with him for 4 days. We've done this particular event several times before. One thing that's amazing about it is it's really more than a course or a training. It's truly an event. And the reason I love this particular event so much, and I'm so excited about it, is not only because we've already seen life transforming results for people when we've done this event in the past, but Nicholas Spohn is a former student of mine. And so I trained in hypnosis, and he is a subconscious mastermind. And this course that he put together that I'm honored to come and teach, I teach the energy work portion of the course that I'm really honored to come and teach, is really cool. So he took, Reiki 1 through 4 training with me, Kundalini Reiki training with me, took hypnosis training with me. And now this inner protocols that I'm creating are something that he and I work with together. And so I'm really excited about that 4-day post-conference, and I hope people get a chance to come to that as well. It's very unusual. The thing about Nicholas is he's been to so many events. He's done so many other trainings for the other big names out there. He's crewed for so many of them that he has lights and sounds, and we have so many activities, and it's so exciting. Like I've never been to an event like we're going to be doing for the 4-day post. It's really cool. I think people will enjoy it.
It's nice to have somebody who knows the technology and make y'all look all polished.
Well, Susie, I'm gonna do a little bit of a personal, I guess I'm gonna say it's a brag, although I don't really know if that's the right word. I feel so honored that this year I had 6, I'm not exaggerating, 6 of my former students that have been invited to speak at HypnoThoughts Live this year.
That's awesome. I know.
I'm so excited. My students have done such an extraordinary job out there in the field. And that's the big win for me. I mean, I'm honored to be asked to speak there, but I'm most honored that my students are going to have a chance to be there and be presenting.
That's a huge testimonial for the work that you're doing. Absolutely. That's so cool. Well, congratulations, Sandra. That is really a big testimonial if your students are doing so well. Thanks. And I'm glad to hear that. So here's to you. Whoosh.
Well, we know that they're doing the work, right? But
they're doing it.
That they were drawn to me and I was able to support them, and that they're out there really making the changes in the world, and that they're able to share it with our community.
And that's why we do what we do. We get to spread that beautiful love and light out in the world. More people spreading it, the bigger it gets. It just magnifies and resonates, like you said, resonance. And, vibration to me, I teach this to my clients, but my hypnotherapy clients, about vibration and resonance and why it's so important to, quiet the stinking thinking and be aware of what's happening with that and how, it keeps you pressed down, and why it's important to raise and lift your vibration. And that when that happens so often, a lot of the things that you perceived as problems really aren't even there anymore.
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
And so I'm totally a big fan of that. I think that's probably the core of my work in hypnotherapy is teaching people how to raise their vibration. It's kind of a funny thing. It really is. And you don't really understand it until you experience it. And, and you really actually can consciously go, what problem? What was that? Because you can't even stay, the problem just doesn't exist in a different level of consciousness, which is so cool. And that's what Reiki's all about. I love Reiki. Reiki's very cool. I'm so glad you do Reiki too. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's kind of how I started in the field. So as I said, my background was as a coach and a teacher. So I've been teaching and coaching since the late 80s, early 90s. And then when I sort of specialized in this field is when I was releasing some health things. And so I used, different forms of energy work, not just Reiki and Kundalini Reiki, but I studied everything out there at one point or another. And I use them for myself. So I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. And then a lot of people know from former conferences I spoke at, I used hypnosis during brain surgery. So I had 5 congenital brain aneurysms I found a few years ago. And I was able
You had 5?
And I was able to use hypnosis. My neurosurgeons were open to using hypnosis for those procedures. And I learned so much about using it in the medical field, which was newer to me. So I'm so passionate about hypnosis, and I still train hypnosis students as well. But mostly I work on the integrative protocols. But if they don't have hypnosis as one of the tools in their integrative toolbox, then we do train hypnotists in that way as well. But yeah, I think it's amazing. And everyone will know if you've ever been to any of the conferences that I've spoken at, I always take like a little short blip where I talk about, the self-hypnosis, that we're practicing what we preach. And so managing your energy is my foundation. So energy work is what I start with most of my business clients with, to make sure they know how to work within their own energy centers, manage their own energy. But the real push is like, we as hypnotists, so many hypnotists out there on the circuit or out in the field, or our colleagues, and they teach people every day that, in their first session, they teach them self-hypnosis, but they're not practicing it themselves. I was like, oh, come on. So you never know when an unexpected brain surgery is going to come up, and you're going to have to be really good at self-hypnosis.
That brings up a really key point. You're so right on that. It's just like working any other muscle, right? You can't go, oh, I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow.
You can, but you're going to hurt.
You have to practice every single day to have that skill there. And this is also stuff I teach. And because otherwise, when you need it, it's not going to be there readily available to you. It has to be something that's just automatic and ready to go when you need it. And you're right. Anything can happen. That's what life's about, right? The school of life. I love how you said Earth School. The Earth School, we never know what's going to come up. Thank you for sharing that about your personal journey. That is really amazing.
Well, I've always, because of my mentors that I worked with, we've always referred to it as Earth School. This is this place in which we're living and learning right now. And it was so cute because a former student of mine, one of them who gets to speak at Hypnothos this year, she started with me this year, and we started this spiritual travel club of hypnotists and other people where we call it Earth School Adventures. So it's really fun. So we're going to like Iceland next year together with some other hypnotists and energy workers and stuff. And so, yeah, I love the term Earth School. And I didn't realize it was uncommon until we were, looking to name our group. And she said, I really want to call it Earth School Adventures because you're always talking about it. I'm like, all right.
That is so cool. I love that. It's so true, though. We're here at school, and the sooner you figure that out, the happier you're going to be.
Right?
So everything just is another lesson to learn instead of something that's horrible that's happening to you. It's part of your journey to learn and to grow. So I love that. Earth School Adventures.
It's fun.
I love that. I just want to say hi to those of you who are watching. I see you out there. I saw my friend Jimmy Moreno. He's an amazing shaman. And he made a quick comment. And I thank you he says, great place for hypnosis to move you past the subconscious abundance roadblocks. That's what he said.
Yeah, move on through.
And we've got some other of my local friends are watching. So hi, you guys. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, let me know. I am trying to pay attention to the chat on my phone. It's a little bit easier to see it there. So we have here Sandra Grace from Integrative Life Works. She helps hypnotherapists, coaches, other kinds of entrepreneurs to integrate fully their body, mind, and spirit into their business and to create success and abundance mindset, manage energy, so many cool things. What else do you do besides Superwoman jumping off high buildings.
Susie, as I mentioned, I'm a widow and a single mother, and I am now, as of last month, I am the mother of a teenager. So welcome to my world.
Oh,
So that's pretty exciting. I feel pretty good about the fact that he survived. He survived 13 years under my care, so that's amazing. We also took on a puppy last year, so I'm also a puppy mama. That's something to brag about. It's a little bit of energy. The best thing I've really done.
Keep the dog. Send the
best
teenager away. I have 3 kids, so I know.
Out of all of it, the best thing I've done is in the last year, I took on a business partner who you mentioned, Amanda Delacqua, and she's up in Canada. She's in Vancouver, and she was a former student of mine. She had trained with me under, with the energy work and the hypnosis, and she was already a coach, and she had been doing amazing things out in the field with Staples and Apples, and she has her own independent company. But what she really brought to me that was so amazing is now when we train and coach people, her background is so strong in like social media and website design and all these things that when someone comes out of our program, they come out and they're ready to hit the floor running. Because I had been teaching some of these things as individuals in the past, but it was important to me that when we put people out in the field, that they're not dinking around with all this time and energy of getting their business up and running.
Right.
And so
she has systems in place, boom, and you're ready to go.
Yes.
She's
a genius. Yeah. And she's technologically so proficient, and so it's really impressive. So I would say probably the best thing that I do outside of my work when I work individually with clients, and I don't really take many new clients these days. I refer them to my students because I have so many really qualified students in specialization and niches, everything from recovery coaches to mindset coaches to energy work coaches. And so I tend to do mostly referrals to my students now, but I do take a few clients on for myself. But the best thing I've definitely done is this new curriculum and coursework that I'm building with Amanda. And she's training others to take their courses and take them online. And so it's so great because a lot of people know how to teach live, but now they're not sure how to teach it virtually or globally. And so she's doing a great job of helping people out there.
Right. And that's where it's at right now today. That's one of the cool things that came out of all of the weirdness. So that's a great advertisement. Thank you very much, Sandra, because I'm to be interviewing Amanda.
Oh, are you? Okay, yeah, that's going to be perfect.
When I'm on my vacation, I'll be up in Lake Tahoe, but I will be doing her live interview from Lake Tahoe. So,
I can't wait for y'all to meet her because you will love her. She is so incredible. She's one of the best gifts I've ever given myself. She's great.
That's awesome. Great. It sounds like you have a great collaboration, and I love that. That's another thing is, we're not competitors out here in the world. We're here to collaborate and help each other because we all have our unique way of showing up in the world that's going to work for just the perfect client for us. So I love that too. I often hear people talk about that. What are your thoughts about that? You're like, oh, I'm competing. I had this one group here locally. They were just totally thought I was their competitor and we really missed a lot of opportunities where we could have been more in a collaboration mode and helped each other and our community in a bigger way. It's that mindset of lack, I think. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, when we're in a resonance of fear or lack or lower frequency, then sometimes we attract lower frequency. And I think that when we remain in the higher frequencies of love and gratitude, then that's what we attract and that's what we bring more of. And I trust that there's more than enough of us out here to serve all the right people at the right time. And I've never had any qualms with straightening someone else's crown once in a while, right? Let's be there to help each other. Let's support each other.
Don't be touching my crown, Sandra. I'm telling you right now.
I'm like, let's just get it right on there and let's go. Come on, you're going to shine. You're going to do what you're here to do. And I'll do what I'm here to do. And we're all given a particular mission and a gift. And the more we work together, the more we can get done. And I absolutely believe in collaboration. I have to say, I've been super impressed as I've been getting to know you and following things. You recently had a collab book that you're a part of, right? And
yeah.
As well as what you're pulling people together for the summit, as well as the interview series. I think you are like the master of collab. Like, you're amazing.
Because we're all in it together, right? We are all in it together. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
True.
Yeah, that was really fun. I have a couple books out I've written myself too that are really fun, but the collaboration was just phenomenal because of the beautiful women that I met during the process and just hearing stories of perseverance and challenge and all over the globe. I mean, so we think that we have problems, but the truth is everyone in that book had challenges that were just way bigger, some of them way bigger than we can even imagine. And I mean, we're talking like having to flee their country kind of thing.
Sure.
And being able to overcome that and persevere, it just shows that anyone can rise above their situation if they want to, if they can work on their, like you're talking about, managing your energy and managing your mindset. And that's exactly what you're doing. And I love it. So yeah, I just don't believe in competition. I was listening to one of our speakers at the Global Hypnotherapy Summit, Michael Anthony. He's a stage hypnotist in Las Vegas.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm.
And he's great. So I actually watched a part of his presentation already. And I was just so blown away. But one of the things he said was, so I'm standing, he does huge audiences. And he said, you know, I look out in that audience and I see all those faces out there and every single one of them has a problem.
Oh no.
So true. Everybody's got something they're working on. So there's enough potential clients out there for everybody.
Yes. And here's the thing. The more that we all allow ourselves to feel confident and competent in niching into our real specializations, the things that we bring that are unique to the table, that nobody else on the planet is exactly like us, so they're not going to bring anything exactly like us. We see that there is no reason to compete or to feel in competition with anyone else. It's about the more we stand more in alignment with our own purpose in our own fields, with our own physical structural health, mental, emotional well-being, and spiritual connection, we will connect those people that are ideal for us to support in this journey. And so will everyone else. And that'll be perfect.
Yeah, I so agree with you. That's so beautifully said. And that's part of the law of attraction and that resonance again, like keep your vibration, walk your talk, live your best life that you can each day, do the best you can every day. And you will attract the people that resonate with that. And they're out there and they need you, right? They need you. They're looking for help and they don't know where to go. So keep getting it out there and keep talking. So very, very cool. So if somebody wanted to, let's say, find out more about your classes at HypnoThoughts Live, you want them to visit your website at integrativlifeworksinc.com and find out more? Would that be the best thing for them to do, Sandra?
Sure. At Integrative LifeWorks Inc., we put up our travel schedule. We've really been blessed to be invited to do keynote speaking, and we do some corporate training, and we're out on the road some. And so our HypnoThoughts schedule is up there. And also hypnothoughtslive.net, of course, is where you can get on there. And we have the Global Hypnosis Summit that Amanda and I are both speaking at. And we're even speaking at NGH again this fall. So we have several places coming up. And then there's some international places we'll be speaking later in the year. So we would love to have you check out the website and tell us what you think and see if you can find anything there that's helpful to you, or if there's any way we can be of service to you, just let us know. And we work with the community all the time. Any way that we can help you, we're there for you.
That's awesome. You are doing some amazing work, and I am deeply honored that you had time to come talk to me today and also to be part of the Global Hypnotherapy Summit. So let's talk about that just really quick while we wrap up here. As soon as I can find it. Here we go. I'm going to throw this up on the bottom here. So we did touch a little bit about what you're going to be talking about, but share a little bit more about what is going on with the Global Hypnotherapy Summit. You and Amanda are doing things separately, right? Or are you doing it together?
No, we each have our own presentation. So I'm sharing about integrative protocols. So the things that I've been sort of alluding to all day today is what I'm going to be talking about the most. I'm going to talk to you, how do you get your physical structural foundations in place? How do you collaborate what you know in the mental emotional wellness, the tool set, the skill set, the mindset, and then how do you incorporate all of that along with your spiritual truth? Because then it's going to stick, then it's going to stay. So in my presentation, I'm talking about the integrative protocols, and Amanda is going to focus on her specializations in all of the tax fields and all of the getting it out there, social media, websites, online courses, all those areas that she specializes in. So she's gonna share a little bit more to her specialization in that way. Now she also is a really great hypnotist. She does some incredible work with hypno yoga and some other forms of hypnosis. But she's incredible. But this particular part, she's going to talk about the business side of it because she has such an extensive background in that, and a lot of hypnotists don't.
Right, exactly, as we discussed earlier. So that is great. So if you are a hypnotherapist or coach and you want to learn how you can grow your business, do not miss the Global Hypnotherapy Summit. We've got a
Yes.
little bit of everything going on there, how to grow your business, how to use different protocols and techniques to help more people. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you can also see Sandra Grace there. And you can go to globalhypnotherapysummit.com and get your premium pass. And with your premium pass, there's also an upgrade option where you get a free book, Passion to Profits, and you'll also get an opportunity to have all the recordings for an entire year. So you can go back and rewatch them and learn. And all of our presenters are also giving gifts. And then Thursday, we're having an online live forum on the 16th, and then an after party. So hopefully you'll be able to join us there and share live with everybody. We're going to have a good time. So any final words, any last advice you'd like to share?
Well, I would just like to thank you, Susie, for putting on the summit as well. I think it's incredible that you have, you have an opportunity for people to come and learn at all different price points that are comfortable with them. And even your top premium price is very reasonable. And I just think it's amazing that you're able to serve our community in such a wonderful way, and you're able to do it at such an affordable rate for them. And there's so much value. And really, if you look at like each of those individual sessions, if you added up what each person would charge for it, it's literally thousands and thousands of dollars worth of content that you're giving away for next to nothing. And I just think that the pricing is amazing that you're able to do it for that price. And it really is in service to the community. I just really think it's a wonderful way that you're giving back to the community. And so I hope that people will be able to look into that and just see what a wonderful gift it is that you're giving. Thank you.
Thank you. I love that so much. And you're so right. I mean, just to have you come speak would be, $500 to $1,000 just to have you come speak on your own. And we've got beautiful speakers like you from all over the world, 45 presenters. It's pretty exciting. And if you were to go to a conference live, you'd be paying for your hotel, right? Which we're going to be doing, which I'm happy to do because I can't wait to go to Las Vegas and see everything.
I love the live conferences, but not everybody has that luxury, and not everyone can work it into their budget or in their time schedule. And especially some of the new and up and comers or some of the part-timers, they maybe up until now didn't have the budget set aside to do that, or not to do several a year. And so what you're doing is creating an opportunity for them to grow into it so they can afford to do those things.
Right. So it's only $47. I mean,
it's really great.
That's just a week of coffee.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding.
A couple days for some people. Yeah, that's great.
So, well, thank you, Sandra. I really appreciate that. I really do. That's a great way of putting it, and I'm very grateful. All right. Well, thank you so much. Just a quick recap here. I just kind of want to review some of the things that we talked about. So, mastering the power of the present is going to be your presentation, or no, your presentation is going to be on resonance. You have mastering the power of the present, and the key to maximizing your energy and managing your energy, integrative coaching. Physical body structure is very important, probably the number one step in stepping into your new business model. And you are here to help people get their business structure in place so that they can be successful and comfortable in transitioning from that job.
Susie, one of the things that's new for me this year that is really fun is I'm putting up booths at some of these conferences. So I actually get to sit down and chat with people as they're moving through the hallways. So I hope that at Hypnothoughts, I do have the 1 hour, the 2 hour, and the 4-day, but I hope that in between people will stop and say hi to me at the booth. Since I'm
I will.
That'll be fun.
I'll be over there to bug you and probably drag you out to do some fun things. I had a booth there before too, but this year I've just decided I want to go enjoy the conference, and I do have a presentation. But I'm not doing an after conference one. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you in person, and I will see you next week at the summit. And thank you so much, Sandra. Yes, kisses and hugs, and your story is amazing. And thank you again. And if anybody wants to find out more about Sandra, please visit her website, and I'm going to pop it back up here really quick.
IntegrativeLifeWorksInc.com. Look forward to hearing from you there.
Oh, that's not the one. I don't know why I have two.
It's okay.
Here. See?
It's easy to find. IntegrativeLifeWorksInc.com. It's super simple.
It is. All right. Thank you so much, dear, and have a great rest of your day.
Love and light.
Hang on just a second here. I've got to make myself big again. Oh, weird. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble taking it down. Here we go.
No worries.
All righty. That was so much fun. I'm so grateful to have Sandra Grace here. What a fun and beautiful person she is. She's helping the world with her clients and helping her clients help other clients. So that's how we work in our hypnotherapy and coaching world. It's very, very fun. So I want to thank you for joining me. If you have any questions and you want to join the, I'm going to pop that back up again, the Global Hypnotherapy Summit, please join us. It's only $47 for your premium pass package. And there is an upgrade after that where you get all the recordings and you're going to get lots of bonuses. And you can watch the recordings whenever you want, but we will be going live on Tuesday, June 14th through the 16th. And we will have a live panel on Thursday and an after party. You're welcome to join us. So jump on in, globalhypnotherapysummit.com, and we'll see you there. I'm Susie Bowers from Hypno Professional, Everything Hypnosis 2022. Ignite your hypnotic awesomeness.